Collection views. In this chapter, you will continue working on the PhotoRunner application by displaying the interesting Flickr photos in a grid using the UI Collection View class. This chapter will also reinforce the data source design pattern that you used in previous chapters. A collection view displays an ordered collection of items. The collection view has a layout object that drives the display of information. You will use a built-in layout object, the UI collection view flow layout, to present the interesting photos in a scrollable grid. As you can see, the collection view does the following things. Displaying the grid, collection view data source, creating a custom UI collection view cell, downloading the image data, navigation to a photo, displaying the grid. Let's tackle the interface first. You are going to change the UI for Photos View Controller to display a collection view instead of displaying the image view. Open Main.Storyboard. Drag a collection view controller onto the canvas. Delete the unused Photos View Controller from the canvas. Set the collection view controller as the root view controller of navigation controller. In Photos View Controller.Swift, make Photos View Controller inherit from UI Collection View Controller. Open Collection View Controller's Identity Inspector and set its class to Photos View Controller. The collection view is now on the canvas, but you need a way to populate the cells with data. To do this, you will create a new class to act as the data source of the collection view. Collection View Data Source. Create a new Swift file named Photo Data Source and declare the Photo Data Source class. To conform to the UI Collection View Data Source protocol, a type also needs to conform to the NSObject protocol. The easiest, most common way to conform this protocol is to subclass from NSObject as you did above. As you see, the UI Collection View Data Source protocol declares two required methods to implement. Note that you reuse the cell with the identifier UI Collection View cell, so you need to set its identifier property in Main.Storyboard. With UI Collection View cell selected, open its Attributes Inspector. Locate the Collection Reusable View section, and then set the identifier to UI Collection View cell. To make cells visible when no picture is loaded, set their background color to black. Next, the collection view needs to know that an instance of photo data source is a data source object. In Photos View Controller.Swift, you will not need the image view anymore, so delete it. Then add a property to reference an instance of photo data source. Without the image view property, you will not need the method update image view anymore. Go ahead and remove it. Update view did load to set the data source on the collection view. Finally, update the photo data source object with the result of the web service request and reload the collection view. Build and run the application. After the web service request completes, check the console to confirm that photos were found. On the iOS device, there will be a grid of black squares corresponding to the number of photos found. These cells are arranged in a flow layout. A flow layout fits as many cells on a row as possible before flowing down to the next row. If you rotate the iOS device, you will see the cells fill the given area. Creating a custom UI collection view cell. Next, you are going to create a custom UI collection view cell subclass to display the photos. While the image data is downloading, the collection view cell will display a spinning activity indicator using the UI activity indicator view class. Create a new Swift file named photo collection view cell and define photo collection view cell as a subclass of UI collection view cell. The activity indicator view should only spin when the cell is not displaying an image. Instead of always updating the spinner when the image view is updated, or vice versa, you will write a help method update with image to take care of it for you. It would be nice to reset each cell to the spinning state, both when the cell is first created and when the cell is getting reused. The method wake from nib prepares the receiver for service after it has been loaded from an interface builder archive or nib file. The method prepare for reuse is called when a cell is about to be reused. Open main.storyboard and select the collection view cell. In the identity inspector, change the class to photo collection view cell and in the attributes inspector, change the identifier to photo collection view cell. Drag an image view onto the UI collection view cell. Add constraints to pin the image view to the edges of the cell. Open the attributes inspector for the image view and set the content mode to aspect fit. Next, drag an activity indicator view on top of the image view. Add constraints to center the activity indicator view both horizontally and vertically with the image view. Open its attributes inspector and select heads when stopped. Hold Ctrl and Shift together and then click on top of the cell. Select the collection view cell again. With the cell selected, open the Connections inspector and connect the image view and spinner properties to the image view and activity indicator view on the canvas. Next, open photodatasource.swift and update the data source method to use the photo collection view cell. To make the activity indicator visible, you need to clear the black background color of the cell. Build and run the application. When the interesting photos request completes, you will see the activity indicator views all spinning. Downloading the image data. Now all that is left is downloading the image data for the photos that come back in the request. This task is not very difficult, but it requires some thought. Images are large files, and downloading them could eat up your user's cellular data allowance. As a considerate iOS developer, you want to make sure your app's data usage is only what it needs to be. It makes sense to download the image data for only the cells that the user is attempting to view. In PhotosViewController.swift, PhotosViewController is a subclass of UI Collection View Controller that conforms to UI Collection View Delegate protocol. Update view did load to set the PhotosViewController as the delegate of the collection view. Finally, implement the delegate method in PhotosViewController.swift. This delegate method will be called every time a cell is getting displayed on screen and is a great opportunity to download the image data. UI Collection View has a mechanism to support this through its UI Collection View Delegate method collection view with display for item at. Let's fix the error you saw when finding the first index of photo in the photos array. The first index of method works by comparing the item that you are looking for to each of the items in the collection. It does this using equal to operator. Extensions provide a great mechanism for grouping related pieces of functionality. Update photo.swift to use an extension to conform to the equitable protocol. This is a simplified example, but extensions are very powerful for both extending existing types and grouping related functionality. In fact, the Swift standard library makes extensive use of extensions, and you will too. For a better visual experience, in main.storyboard, select the collection view, open its size inspector, set the estimate size to none, and set both of main spacing to 2. Build and run the application. The image data will download for the cells visible on screen. If you scroll back up, you will see a delay in loading the image data for the previously visible cells. This is because whenever a cell comes on screen, the image data is re-downloaded. To fix this, you will implement image caching, similar to what you did in HomePointer application. Open photostore.swift, add a caching mechanism to photostore so that the downloaded images can be reused. Then update fetchImage method to save the images using the image store. If the request is successful, set the image here, and then put the compilation handler into main operation queue. Build and run the application. Now when the image data is downloaded, it will be saved to the file system. The next time that photo is requested, it will be loaded from the file system if it is not currently in memory. Navigation to a photo. In this section, you are going to add functionality to allow a user to navigate to and display a single photo. Create a new Swift file named PhotoInfoViewController. Declare the PhotoInfoViewController class, and add an image view outlet. Now set up the interface for this view controller. Open the main.storyboard and drag a new view controller onto the canvas from the object library. With this view controller selected, open its identity inspector and change the class to PhotoInfoViewController. When the user taps on one of the collection view cells, the application will navigate to this new view controller. Control-drag from the Photo Collection View cell to the Photo Info View controller and select the Show Segue. With the new segue selected, open its Attributes Inspector and give the segue an identifier of Show Photo. Add an image view to the Photo Info View controller's view. Set up its layout constraints to pin the image view to all 4 sides. Open the Attributes Inspector for the image view and set its content mode to aspect fit. Finally, connect the image view to the image view outlet. When the user taps the cell, the Show Photo segue will be triggered. At this point, the Photos View controller will need to pass both the photo and the photo store to the Photo Info View controller. Open PhotoInfoViewController.swift and add 2 properties. When photo is set on this view controller, the navigation item will be updated to display the name of the photo. Now override viewDidLoad to set the image on the image view when the view is loaded. In PhotosViewController.swift, implement prepare for sender method to pass along the photo and the storm. Build and run the application. After the web service request had finished, tap on one of the photos to see it in the new view controller. Collection views are a powerful way to display data using a flexible layout. You have just barely tapped into the power of collection views in this chapter. Challenge: updated item sizes. Have the collection view always display 4 items per row, taking up as much as the screen width as possible. This should work in both portrait and landscape orientation. See you next time.